3, 2, 1, start.
Okay.
Okay. Hey bestie.
Hi guys.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, like we have been busy, but like I think I was telling you this, like I kind of just forgot we had a podcast. I was like,
yeah, sometimes it just slips my mind. I'm like, that's a thing that exists. But yeah, we've been having our hot girl summers.
Yeah.
We're both employed. Things are happening. It's you know, it's a time. But we're here. We didn't forget about y'all. Like the 5 of y'all, but that's okay, whatever.
Yes. Comment down below if you are this far into the podcast. I don't know.
Just tell us if you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully I have the intro up this time. It loaded quickly.
Yay,
so
I still don't have it
It's
up.
fine, honestly. Hi everyone, this is Chelsea and Sonica. Welcome back to Armbridge Podcast, where we dismantle the system like the revolutionaries we are, one podcast episode at a time. Today is the first day of July, which is fun. And last week I did a solo episode. As of right now, I forgot to put out the post for it, but it should be out. Where I basically just talked to myself while driving in the car about various things, most importantly mental health. And today we're actually doing something kind of fun. We are like retaking the MBTI test.
Again, we've been doing things and changing as human beings, so we're not very sure if our personalities are still the same, because mine has changed before. It changed from middle school to high school, and so maybe the time has come yet again.
Yes. Alright.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go through each question. Are we using 16 personalities?
Yeah, let's just
Nice.
go with that.
The classic.
Yeah, no, if I use any other website, it gives me I think it gives me INFJ or INFP, and I'm like, no, neither of those are correct. I can assure you, they're not.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't really make sense because, like, I'm an INFJ, and, like, you definitely have, like, a different personality than me, so...
Very different.
Yeah.
But...
Or am I an INFJ?
Fun stuff.
We're about to find out.
Alright. But yeah, as of now, I'm ENFP, Chelsea's INFJ. We'll see if that's changed.
The thing is, like...
And if you'd like to pull up the test...
No, I was just gonna say, like, I haven't taken it in so long that, like... yeah.
I took it last week.
Oh.
And it gave me INFP, but then I, just refused to acknowledge that. That didn't happen. It was an outlier. But I was saying, if you want to pull up the test and take it with us or something, I don't know. Something like that. Feel free to.
Okay.
And we'll, link it somewhere so you can access it easily. But let's get started, shall we? All right. So I have it open. Whenever you're ready, let me know. We can get started.
I can start off with the first question. Or it's not really a question. So if you haven't taken the test before, it's basically one of those, agree or disagree sort of questions. And there are a lot of, dots in the middle. So basically you would, if you picked a dot closest to the word agree, that means you strongly agree with the statement, and vice versa with disagree. But this statement says,
or you could be neutral.
Yeah, you could be neutral. And this statement says you regularly make new friends. But I feel like, okay, just seeing that question, I'm hoping that because there was a literal pandemic where we had to stay inside, I'm trying to think of my past habits right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just going with as of recent because I can't think of anything. And it's a mild disagree, somewhat disagree. I do make friends, but I don't make a whole lot. I'm not everybody's friend. So, somewhat disagree.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Because I don't go out of my way to make friends, not because I don't like people. I'm friends with people through association. So that's how.
Yeah, it just naturally happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, we're gonna really struggle in adulthood, aren't we?
Not us being adults, though.
Oh. Yeah, don't remind me, I'm still a child.
Anyways.
I started the pandemic as a teenager, and I am Still mentally a teenager, so.
It's fine.
Fun times. But, let's see. Apparently we're not supposed to take this test, like, with other people, otherwise, like, it influences our answers and stuff, so I don't know. But whatever, we're here now, we're doing this.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest.
That's like a neutral for me, because if it's like a skill-based thing, if I'm not like automatically decent at it, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Oh, really? For me, I was thinking more like research stuff, in which case I was like a very, very strong agree. I will, like, whatever my mind wants to learn at the moment, I will fully commit myself to it for like a week and then just ditch it. Yeah, like the most notable one I can think of is I had like this phase sometime last year where I just wanted to know everything about perfumes.
Oh, you
like,
told me this.
Fragrances, like the notes and like, you know, different, just like everything about perfume. And I spent like a couple days just like really in-depth researching everything I could possibly know about perfume. And now I have like an abnormal knowledge on fragrances and that's somehow carried into like my brain space. It's interesting. But yes, I researched literally any and everything I'm curious about.
That's fun. I feel like I should do that. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I feel like...
I mean, it's kind of a hindrance to like normal tasks because I'll be like, I should sweep the floor. But cacti have never been more intriguing to me in my
the
life.
different types of plants, yeah. Like going down a rabbit hole of like, now I just have all this information that no one needs to know.
Yeah, it's just like, what do I do with this? But
yeah.
It's there.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Fun times. At this rate, we're literally never gonna finish this test. We should probably speed up a little bit. Oh my god. Okay, so
seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. No.
Nah.
Like in person, no. Like, it depends on like the reason. Like if, you know.
Yeah, I think it does.
But
depend.
ordinarily, not really. Like I've cried less, and if I do cry, it's like by myself, you know, in private. So it's not like usually triggered by someone else. It's usually just like my own problem.
Me thinking.
Yeah. Me when thinking, just crying all the time. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. I was talking to someone about this the other day. This statement says, you often make a backup plan for a backup plan. It's so true.
For me, it's like somewhat agree. I could see like I feel like every INFJ I know, that's like a strong agree for them. They're like, I need a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, all the way to Z. Like I need plans upon plans upon plans. And it's like, that's great because you're never unprepared.
But I think it like hinders for me at least like enjoying the moment that I'm in. Like even think like at work, right? Like sometimes I have a schedule every day of who I work with and stuff. And so sometimes like I don't adhere to that schedule and suddenly I'm like not prepared and that like freaks me out and the situation becomes like scarier when really it's not. So it's like it's a double-edged sword where it's like it's good for my, you know, like peace of mind, but it prevents me from enjoying or realizing like, oh, this isn't that big of a deal. It's just me feeling bad for not adhering to the plan. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I can see what you mean. Yeah, for me that's how my brain works. I'm like, okay, if something goes wrong, we'll figure it out once it goes wrong. Like, I'll have a backup plan, but I won't like really think into it, you know? It's like, okay, we could also do this. But interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna like do like the next 4 questions without adding commentary, otherwise we're like not gonna finish this ever.
No, yeah, you're right. Okay. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another?
I certainly prefer to, but do I do that? No.
No, me neither. I'm gonna do a slight disagree.
Okay, no talking, just answer, just go speed. Let's speed speed round. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Yes. I literally have like 50 organization methods. Yes.
Oh, come on.
Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge.
Oh, say no more. We don't even have to comment on that.
There is
These
no
are,
room
like,
for debate.
General
on that.
statements,
Yes.
but I feel so like
called out.
Okay. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up conversation.
So, this entirely depends on whether they're extroverted or introverted. If they're more of an extrovert, I will like hide. But if they're an introvert, I'll be like, hey, bestie. And they're just like, what do you want?
I feel like either way, I just, like, first impressions are so important. Like, even, like, at work, like, I'm meeting all of these new people, so I'm, like, so careful about what I do and what I say. So I'm definitely not
just gonna, like, walk up to someone.
Start that, like, oh, I think you're interesting.
No, literally, I told you, like, I made one friend on campus, not on campus, it was one of my friend's friends, but I was just like, they were an ISFP, so I was like, hey, guess what? I think your type is cool. And he's like, what do you want? I'm like, you're gonna talk to me now. And it was even funnier because typical of ISFPs, they're like, I don't want to be put in a box. I'm like, okay, well, are you creative? And he's like, yeah, kind of. Are you competitive? Yeah, kind of. I'm like, okay, you're really checking all the boxes. And that's how I made a friend. And then another friend, her name is, do I want to, well, anyways, basically, yeah, I'll find like the stupidest things that we have in common and I'll just like really expound upon that. And generally, if they're not annoyed, we become friends. So it works out nicely.
Just like acquiring friends.
Yeah.
Not making them, just like, oh, you're cool, and you just like
collect them like Pokemon.
Yes. So many different friends.
Yeah.
It's always awkward though, like at functions or something where you have like friends from different friend groups.
Oh, it's so weird because it's like I'm like different people around them. So I'm like switching personas.
Yeah.
Super quickly. Yeah, that's fun. And then you like introduce them to each other too, and it's just like, this is not supposed to be happening right now.
Yeah. It's like the things you talk about and like how you became friends is like
completely different.
The central, like, yeah, because even though like we're very close, even some of my friends that I've known longer or just as long, I don't talk to them about certain things either. And it's like not like secretive things. It's just like
it doesn't work with that dynamic.
It would come out of nowhere, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay, next question. You're not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works. Strong disagree. I will like dissect the heck out of anything I watch or read.
And that's like half of our early episodes on the podcast about music.
It's just us dissecting everything.
Okay. This one says, you are more inclined to follow your head than your heart. But like what? That's the thing, like, both of these things are a part of your thinking process.
Right.
Like, your either logical process or like your, I guess, more idealistic process.
For me, it's
more
like strong... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that like I'm more of a... I've become a logical person just because, like, in quarantine at least there's so much dialogue about like dissemination of information and like how you frame information and like through observation of like, my family members or like my friends.
Right.
It's like I'm collecting evidence, quote unquote, and so I kind of know like what to do in certain situations, or oh, this happened to me this many times, so I'm not going to do this so it doesn't happen to me anymore. I kind of think like that.
Right. Interesting. For me, I've become like less logical, if anything. For me, I put like a somewhat disagree though, because I think I still like mine are very much at conflict, like head and heart are like just always fighting in my brain. But if I had to choose, I'd say I honestly go more with my heart, or just like my gut instinct, because usually it's right. So if it hasn't failed me yet, why question it,
Fight or flight response.
There we go. But yeah. Okay, let's just go through the next questions. I keep saying that, but we just keep talking about them.
It's fine.
Oh man.
you are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Not the worst. I just worry that something will happen that will change the trajectory of like what I think will happen. Not that I think it's gonna be bad. I just feel like uneasy most of the time. I'm gonna do like a slight agree.
Oh, okay. I did a slight disagree because I think I'm pretty optimistic. I do definitely like have thoughts from time to time. It's like, oh, this could all go horribly wrong, and then this happens, and then this happens. But then I'm like, I'd rather, like, just for my own peace of mind, I'd rather just tell myself things will be fine. It'll work out. Like, I'll live. So, slight disagree. But yeah.
Okay.
Next question. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. I'm gonna say like a middle disagree. I like being in charge.
Actually, me too. Like,
really, yeah.
I guess it's like not. It's not really an opposite reason, but it's more so that, like, I'm concerned that, like, people
others won't pull their weight. No, same here.
Yeah. So
I like knowing what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This one says, "You are definitely not an artistic type of person."
Disagree.
I don't know what would be like considered artistic.
I think it's kind of going again to like the whole like logical versus not logical versus like feely, but like, you know, just like the mindset or like the way you learn or think. Is it more systematic and like step by step, or is it more kind of like abstractions and like that kind of thing? At least that's the way I interpret it. Because for me, my issue has always been that like I'm smack in the middle. Like I can be very logical, but I could also think in like abstractions and stuff. And so I never really fit into either environment, if that makes sense. Because like, especially in high school, I had like choir and then like my like STEM classes, right? So in my STEM classes, my thinking was like too like abstract and like, you know, I'm doing hand gestures to kind of refer to what I'm going for. But yeah, like that. And then in choir, I had like a very like systematic, like my thinking was too like systematic and like logical and like not feely enough. So it was kind of like I was always in like this weird middle ground in both settings where it's like I guess I could play it to my strength, but it was also just strange kind of coming to that realization. So for me, I don't know that I wouldn't say I'm not an artistic type of person, but I'm also not like super artsy either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just put myself in the middle because I'm like I'm on the fence.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Okay.
I feel like I had more neutral answers last time I took this, but good to know.
Okay.
I have opinions on things now, I guess.
This is interesting, I guess. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. I don't know. I'm gonna like slightly disagree, just because.
Yeah, same here.
Like, I think, I don't know. I think the contrary actually happens. Like, I feel like we should be more honest with our feelings.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, I totally get that. I was gonna say the same thing. Or continue. Sorry, you weren't done.
Oh no, like, it's fine. Like, his rationality, I feel like, is too objective. Like, you can't always treat people objectively. Like,
yeah.
You have to have some understanding of, even if you don't agree with it, like, or well, there are some views that you shouldn't be agreeing with, but like for disputes or for whatever, like you can't just say, oh, let's just split the like cake in half or whatever, right? Like, yeah, that'll give people two equal like parts, but I guess
also does that make sense?
Yeah, like I mean, what if one of them is a child, right? You would give them maybe like a bigger part of the cake than you, or like what if someone can't afford a big slice of the cake, so you have to give them, or well, then you give them more cake than you get, or whatever, right? Like
something like like your feelings do come into play. And I was gonna say the same thing as well, where it's like if we rely strictly on rationality, and I see this especially in like, I don't know, like whenever people are like, well, this is in the Constitution, and I'm like, fam, the Constitution was written 300 years ago. Like stuff like that, where it's like it needs to be balanced. And I feel like actually a lot of our problems nowadays come from the fact that we're a little too stuck on rules, and we're not really thinking, well, does this logically make sense for right now? Yeah, so I disagree too.
Interesting.
But I also think solely relying on feelings is also not good, because then we'd be super impulsive and like get into conflict over really stupid things.
Yeah.
But yeah, balance, everyone. Okay. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Actually, slight agree. Yeah. Again, the horrifying ordeal of being perceived.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And I'm like, again, I'm like the eldest in a lot of social situations, right? So anytime someone's like, Sonika, you're a role model, I'm like, oh no. Like, I'm really happy about it, but at the same time, there's like I'm just like, do I keep being myself, or do I have to, like, you know, be a role model, that type of thing? So I don't like drawing attention to myself in any way, because
it's like you have a whole new set of responsibilities. Like, oh, I have to maintain a calm, collected, like, not anxious person because I've been perceived also, now.
Yeah, exactly. Or also just like, I don't know, I just want to like do my own thing and like not, I don't know, even like approval kind of makes me uneasy, if that makes, I have no clue why, but like I'll do something just because like I want to, right? And someone's like, yeah, that's cool of you to do that, and I'm like, is it? Like, I just really don't like being perceived by anyone. It's kind of strange.
It's true. Like compliments, not even compliments, just like, oh, you did a good job on your task, or like, oh, you look a certain way. It's like, oh, I do, like, I thought I just looked like myself. It's like now I'm there's like public or a general opinion about me. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Let's see. This one says your mood can change very quickly.
Slight agree.
Yeah, same. Like, again, it has to do with like my preparedness with a situation. Like, I'm usually calm going into things, but again, if like something happens contrary to my like, and I think like my facial expressions, I have to be very careful about at work, because I work. Do
you like really like visibly show your emotions?
Sometimes like my face will look upset. Like my resting face looks upset. Like I've had people tell me that. And so like when people tell me that, I get pissed. I'm like, oh really? Like, I don't know.
Does it now? Like, I wasn't upset before, but now I am.
Yeah, like there'll be one small thing that bothers me, and then I ruminate over it, which is nice.
Interesting. You know, for me, I like visibly show my emotions on my face. I'm not good at hiding them.
It's fine.
But it'd be like that. Alright, you lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Again, slight agree. I don't like having to like wait for others, if that makes sense. Like outwardly I'll be patient, I won't like snap at them, but it's also like, can you like hurry up a little bit?
Yeah. Like, actually, well, I'm gonna go neutral with it, because
really,
like,
okay.
Sometimes I get upset, but then I have to like calm myself down, like, oh, maybe they're going through some kind of situation, or
well, yeah. That's like a different story. I'm not talking like emotionally. If we were like doing a task, like since I tutor kids, I'm very patient with children, which is good, thank God. So not in that sense, but if like we're on the same level and I'm like working with you on a project.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And it's like I'm at like a faster pace than you are, and I'm having to like wait up on you to like keep going with this. That's gonna like just irk me. I'm not as patient in that situation, which is what I was thinking of. But
it's not really like efficiency for me, but it's more like what your ambitions are at the moment, or like what your intentions are with a certain thing. Like we did talk about this with like certain people, that if they're like not in the same position in life, it's like hard to not empathize, but it's like if your outlook is like,
it's just like
totally
we're
different
in different places.
Yeah, like mentally I'm moving forward on this path, but it's like if you're not that I don't like you, it's just like hard for me to envision like going further in the friendship, or if I were to date a person, I don't know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean.
But
yeah.
That's like another topic for another time. I feel okay.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death.
Death. I feel like I used to be really into that, but now it's like a slight disagree. I think I've ruminated on it enough, and I'm like happy with the answer I have, so it's just like, okay, whatever. That's not of my concern. I'm here now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the same, like, there's so much speculation, but you literally don't know until you're dead. Like, it doesn't
so
really matter.
Yeah.
It's like not necessary for the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
But
like, this isn't going to be useful to me, so
yeah.
I'll just take whatever answer I'm comfortable with and move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. It depends on what we're talking about. Like, if someone's passionate about it, I will talk with you. When it comes to like Plato, I will not talk to you. So
if it's a philosopher or if it's concerning death, we're out.
I'd say I'd mostly like middle agree, like, or no, actually middle disagree.
Middle disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll enjoy it depending on what it is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. You find it easy to empathize. Oh my god, I'm like shaking my leg and the camera's shaking too. No. Okay. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from yours. Agree. Yes, for the most part. Because
it's like sometimes there's a common trait or a common like thing that happens.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I empathize with that feeling of guilt or remorse or
exactly. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
Yes.
You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible.
Yes, strong agree. I just had a whole conflict with this for like the past month. That one was a little too close to home, but okay.
And I try to rationalize it by like, oh, I'm trying to think of my options, or I'm trying to. No, I'm not.
It's like, no, bestie, I'm just indecisive. All right. After a long and exhausting week, a lively No.
Bye. Get out of here.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, the question was, a lively social event is just what you need. No. You enjoy going to art museums. Yeah.
Of course. Who doesn't enjoy going to art museums?
Actually, a lot of my friends don't. Like, my friends at Dallas, I was like, we should go to the art museum. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
But it's like relics of history, you know?
Yeah.
People were so talented back then.
And even now, it's just like, I just like stare at it and I'm like, how is this making me feel?
What do these colors
mean? I have a grand
mean?
time doing that. Yeah. It's just fun to like dissect it. Oh, look, we're referencing previous questions now. But yes, I do enjoy going to art museums. Okay, you often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Strong disagree. I feel like I'm a little too empathetic. I'll like rationalize everything.
It depends. Like, because sometimes like people will be in experiences I've never been in, so I have to like assume how I would feel. So it just takes a lot of like explaining for me. Like so whenever like people ask me for help, I have to tell them to like explain everything, like as much as they can,
just to make sure it's like right.
And so I'm not giving like advice that sounds like, flippant or
irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah. This one says you rarely feel insecure. Hard disagree.
I'm gonna say actually it's like a middle disagree. I think I'm okay, but I'm not great at it. Like,
I'd say like slight disagree for me.
Yeah.
Because like by myself, I always give myself affirmations, like before I go out. I'm like, yeah, you can do it. But then once I'm out there, I'm like, okay. I really have to bump up the affirmations and like.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah. No, my problem is I care too much about like what others think. Like,
no.
If I'm doing something on my own and I'm like chilling and then someone says something about it, that will just kill my vibe instantly. So. Yeah.
Because yesterday at work, I was just like helping because there was a little girl who like she moved from my friend's lane to my lane, and so she was sitting on the outside. She was just crying. And my supervisor was like, consoling her. So I was like, oh, is she gonna get in the lane with me and like my other person working with me? And I was just vibing. I was like bringing the kids along. I was like, okay, it's gonna be resolved. It's fine. And then someone like tapped me on the shoulder to ask what was happening, and I was like, "What?" And it was like, "Now you're watching me work? Like, stop watching me work."
Right. Oh my
Like
goodness. Oh.
I was fine before.
Am I supposed to be paying attention?
I was fine before you like bothered me. It's fine.
Literally.
Okay.
Ugh. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. I'd say slight agree. I don't spend a lot of time, but I don't like to confine myself to just one viewpoint either.
I think for me, like, what I'm thinking about is like perspectives I never considered, I guess. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this somewhere. I don't probably mentioned it somewhere, but like as like someone going to like a Canadian school, there's so much discourse about like Indigenous activism, which like I'm trying to like figure out, because it's like I don't understand it much because in the States there isn't.
Right.
There is like definitely Indigenous activism, but in Canada I think their population is bigger.
To a much greater extent. Yeah.
So it's like learning that too, and especially last year with like the beginning of the influx of Black Lives Matter protests, I learned like so much just by deliberately learning that stuff. So like
True.
super important. Okay.
Yeah. I guess in that sense, yeah, like if it comes to a time where it's like I should know this, I will definitely educate myself. But that being said, I won't like go out of my way unless I think that it's necessary, if that makes sense.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We just did a phone call exchange there, just
Yeah.
Okay. This statement says, in your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities.
Agree.
Yeah, slight agree for me.
Yeah.
Like if the group chat is dead, you know, I try to like ask like, hey, are you guys free to do this or whatever?
Again, my entire friend circle consists of introverts.
Oh.
So if I don't make plans are never made.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely do make the plans.
Sonika's just like the matriarch of the friend group.
I have to keep things going.
Okay.
You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago.
Not like against my will, yes. Like they just pop in there when like, okay.
No, literally. I feel the need to apologize for everything. Like,
yes.
I recently like apologized to his friend for like a thing that happened like 4 years ago. I was like, girl, I don't even remember this. I'm like, well, I'm sorry about it because it's been haunting me for 4 years.
You have to know.
You have to know.
Just like tying up all your loose ends, like I have to tell you.
Literally. You can't have anything to use against me.
Yeah, because I apologized for it, so.
I apologize for all of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paying back reparations. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Or something.
Okay, next question. Or statement. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life.
Actually, I feel like it's slight agree for me now. Like, it used to be disagree, and I'd be like, yeah, I love thinking about why humans are here. But now, again, it's the same thing as death. It's like, okay, well, we are here. So, who cares?
Yeah.
I think philosophy did that to me. I read about like 7 different people's reasons for existence, and I was like, screw this.
We all lived. Like, you guys all lived and died. Like, you couldn't even answer the questions you were asking. Sucks for you. I'm just kidding.
And some of y'all were objectively wrong. I'm kidding, no.
I mean,
I strongly disagree with some of y'all, but...
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
This one says your emotions control you more than you control them. I don't know.
I'd say agree, but also, like, for me, the way it works is, like, I'll get like super emotional, right? And it'll control me for like a while. And then I'll just like gather it super quickly and be like, no, Sonica, we choose how we react to situations. And then it's like done. It's a done deal. So it's kind of like very quick, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Some things like I feel like I can't control. Like if it's like social anxiety, or if it's like my I guess,
hurt or, like,
coping
guilt or something
mechanisms.
like
It's
that.
like, I don't know. I feel like I have some degree of control over them because I created them. If you know what I mean, like
Right.
I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
developed like anxiety for certain situations because I decided that they were bad at some point in my life, right? And I continue to do that. So
Whether consciously or not, right?
yeah, maybe I'll put like a slight agree, if that's under the realm of emotions, I guess.
Yeah, no, I put like a middle agree, kind of.
Yeah.
All right. You take care not to make people look bad, even when it's completely your fault. Yes. God, yes. Or actually, well, I won't like make them look innocent, but at the same time, I won't be like, oh, this person wronged me, so and so, blah 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 blah. It's just like,
yeah.
This is the conclusion they made, and it hurt me, but I'm not gonna like slander them for it. Like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah. So at that point, like, it wouldn't make you better than the other person. Or I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't.
Yeah, like, what's the point of me like calling them out or whatever? What's that gonna do?
But obviously, it's still important. Like, yeah, to hold people like
people accountable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. We really just did that. We really completed the statement together. Very cool.
It's the NF quality. I'm kidding. I don't know what I'm saying, but yes, we love agreeing on things. Okay, your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I think I'm getting better at it, so I'm gonna put it like a middle agree, but yeah, generally speaking, I'm either like really riding this high of like, yeah, I'm on top of everything right now, and like I don't want to do anything ever.
Yeah.
So I've had a spontaneous burst of energy, but it's been like going on for a couple weeks, so I'm like, is this just like me improving as a human being, or am I just having a really good month, you know?
Oh yeah, like doubting if it's too good. Like nothing happened yet.
Yeah.
Should I be concerned?
No, exactly. I'm like, why are things going well? What is this? Anyways, speaking of which, when someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take for them to feel disappointed in you.
Not really, because you never really know, or at least in my case, like you never know what anyone is thinking. Like, of course, like it's not really that. Like, I don't think I would care. I would care if they were disappointed in me because I did something. Like, but if it's just like a general vibe that they don't like me, it's like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like, I'll just get out of the situation, or I don't know.
Right. No, for me, actually, it's like a middle agree. I do think that a lot, which is kind of bad, but oh well. Keeps me on my toes, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
Spontaneity. Okay, this statement says, you would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Actually, I wouldn't. I wouldn't
either. I love collaborative type tasks. Yeah. Wait, give your reason, sorry.
Oh no.
I was like kind of interrupting.
Because it's like easier to split work. It's easier to like at least to like talk to someone about a work related issue, like, oh, I'm having this issue, and then you could pass it on to a specialist who knows more about the issue. And plus working alone, like I'm sure you put burdens on yourself, like I know I definitely did this, like, with school stuff.
You believe pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I'm gonna say slight disagree, because there are some where it's like, okay, why do I care? Like, I'm here. But if it's like, I don't know, like, let's take for example our buddy Emerson and his like whole thing about downfalls of modern religion. Like, that has application to my life right now as I am living, right? It's not something like, okay, after I die, what happens? It's like, who cares what happens, right? But if it's something that's like applicable to me and my lifestyle, and it's like, I should probably have a concrete opinion on this from like a moral standpoint, then yeah, I think it's productive. But Depends.
I mean, that's how we started the podcast anyway, so, like,
Yeah.
we owe philosophy a great deal. Even
We do.
Plato, I guess. Okay.
Ew.
You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places? Honestly, it depends. Like, if I'm out with my friends,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care. But if I'm by myself, well, it depends on what I'm doing. Like, if I'm by myself, I intend to be by myself. As long as I'm not, like, interrupted. No matter the place, it's, like, fine. So.
No, I get that. For me, I put, like, strong neutral. I think it depends. But now that I think about it, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards, like, a slight agree. I don't know. I'm gonna stick to neutral. But yeah, it depends. Sometimes I want quiet places. Sometimes I want, like busier places. Just depends on the occasion.
Yeah. Interesting. This one says, you know at first glance how someone is feeling.
Yeah, strong agree. I'm a little too good at reading emotions. It's kind of scary.
I don't know. I would say hard disagree because.
Really?
I don't know.
Wait, this is interesting. I think this is like the first one we've like really deferred on.
As part of me is like, like I perceive someone in the way that I want our relationship to be. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Hello, Editing Sonica here. Okay, so there's like a really good bit of conversation here, but something happened to one of the mics and we can't really hear anything that's going on. So I'll kind of just give a gist of what I think Chelsea was trying to say. Basically, I think what she was getting at is that when you go into any kind of relationship, there's like a level of expectation. So if like you want to be friends with someone, maybe you kind of read into some of their statements, some of the things they say, or some of their gestures, and kind of frame it in a way that supports your belief that yes, we're friends, or yes, I have this intention with this person. So as a result, it takes some time or like some getting to know a person before you can tell what they're really thinking or what they're really feeling, I guess.
When I learned that, I was like, oh, that's why he's so easy to read, because after talking to him so many times, it's like,
right.
Oh, those are habits that I have. Yeah. So it takes me a while, I guess, to read people. That's why I disagree. Like.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
In a similar sense for me, like there are very few people I can't read, and those people really, really frustrate me, and I like don't get along with them because usually I'm like the vibe reader of every situation.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of know what's going on intuitively with everyone, and so when I can't read someone, that like scares me. I'm like, why? How? What are you doing? What are you thinking? Yeah. Okay.
We're in the final stretch.
Yeah, we are. Okay, I was gonna say we should probably speed round this, but okay. We're decent. All right. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. That's a pretty strong agree. I'll like skim the other steps, I'll be like, okay, what's coming up next? But no, I'm pretty methodical. I think that's thanks to our world geo teacher in high school.
Yes, that was like.
Oh man.
Slight academic trauma, just slight,
Just slight. No, I appreciate her for it though. Oh man.
Yeah, like I've definitely in college too, at least like there are so many questions that people would send or like in certain situations like how do I do this? And it's like it's literally in the instructions. It's like in the syllabus. It's like there, and it's just surprising that.
Oh my god, the number of times I've been on like a Discord or like a group me, and someone's like, "Oh, what does this?" I'm like, "Did y'all read the syllabus? Please read the syllabus. Like, it's all there. It's literally all there."
You should be equipped.
It kind of annoys me. So this is what I mean. This is what I mean when it's like I get impatient with people who aren't as like efficient as me.
Oh, I get it.
It's like if something's like super obvious and stupid, and like you're still missing out on it, I'm gonna like be annoyed by that.
Like, how do you mess this
up?
How
much of our grade does this exam count for? I'm like, I don't check the syllabus. Like, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're paying for this. Like, you have to navigate it by yourself. Like, you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Okay. This one is weird, this statement. It's not weird, but it says, you are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial.
I don't know, actually. I'm gonna stick to neutral for this one.
Same.
Again, it depends on what it is. If it's like morally controversial, then like I don't think I'm super intrigued by it because, you know, I'm pretty firm on my values. I know what I like, I know what I don't. But if it's like cultural taboos and that kind of stuff where it's like, I don't know, like tattoos or like something like that, I was like, yeah, I think it's interesting.
Yeah, but then like sometimes...
Because that's when you start to dissect like, oh, why is this controversial, you know? Like, does it make a difference?
Like, so yeah, again, like I think I was saying this earlier too, like some things I don't think should be controversial, or an opinion, especially regarding like certain things like human rights and climate change and things like, it's like branded as like the, you know, whatever, like liberal viewpoint or whatever, but like,
it's just like, no,
I don't think it's debatable.
I think you should care about people.
Yeah, like I don't know. Anyway, don't want to get too political.
We've done plenty of that in the beginning episodes. If you're interested now, if we get deep, we'll start crying. So, rather not. Okay, you would pass along a good opportunity. Oh my god, I have to like leave in like 5 minutes. So
that's fine.
Let's kind of like speed this. Okay, you would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. No, I'm like very opportunistic, but I'm gonna go with like a middle disagree. There are exceptions, but I like keeping things I earned, you know?
This one says you struggle with deadlines.
Yes. Oh.
I don't know, slight disagree, because I just get too paranoid and I try to complete things. Even if it means procrastinating, I just get too paranoid. You feel confident
after high school, nothing scares me anymore.
Oh, true. Okay.
Oh man. But okay, you feel confident that things will work out for you. Yeah, I'd say like middle agree. I have my moments, but I think
same.
You know,
okay.
It'll be fine.
I picked my gender, and then I'm gonna see my results.
Yeah. Please. Okay, good. Thank God. What'd you get?
INTP. Interesting.
Wait, my brother's INTP.
Interesting.
Okay, I'm still an ENFP, thank God.
I mean, like, I'm sure most of this stuff is still kind of the same. And even though it says, like, logician, like, I think more of my logic isn't necessarily of the scientific type. It's, like, experience type. Like, oh, because these... It's like, just through observation, I know these things work, I know these things don't work. Stuff like that. I guess...
Wait, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's how I think about it. Like, because the scientific logic type people, I don't really always like those kinds of people. But, yeah.
It's like, feel a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait, what are your, like, percentages for each letter?
66% introverted, which is, like, fair enough, I guess. Energy is mental energy, and so 61% of it is intuitive. Nature is the trait that determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. It's actually a very even split. It's 55% thinking, and the other 45% is feeling. So I think that's, like, pretty accurate. Tactics, so how I plan things, 51% is prospecting. So that's like fair enough.
So it's pretty even for both. It could kind of go both ways.
And then my last one. Identity, how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. It says 67% turbulent. What does that even mean?
I got 72% turbulent. That means we're insecure, Chelsea.
Oh, interesting.
Man. Not literally, but kind of. That's like the nice way of saying, please believe in yourself a little more. Like, okay.
Yeah. It's just like recently too that I've felt like this influx. So maybe it could even change, like, if I take it again. But for now, I'm gonna wait another few years before I then identify with this forever.
Take this again.
Yeah.
All right. INTP. Wait, that's really interesting. INTPs are cool. They're chill.
Great.
But okay, I'm still an ENFP. Thank God. But okay. So the thing is, my extroverted versus introvert always kind of teeters just around 50%. So I can relate both to ENFP and INFP. Personally, I find myself more ENFP, but really both work for me in terms of descriptions. So right now it's 56% extroverted. I am 68% intuitive, so I don't think that sensor trait or is going anywhere or is coming into my life anytime soon, which is chill. That's fine. I guess I'll just have my head in the clouds forever. Thinking versus feeling, 67% feeling. Every time I take this test, the stat just keeps increasing. It's kind of strange.
Like you have,
like when I first took
you
it,
have more feel. You have
sorry?
like more thinking instead of feeling, or is it vice versa?
Way more feeling. Like the more I take it, the more I feel. It's really weird. Like in middle school when I took it, it was around 50-50 again. And then I took it like a couple years ago and it was like a little bit more than 50. Now it's like inching towards 70. I'm like, dang, what's going on? Judging versus prospecting. I'm 63% prospecting. So again, more heart than head, but it'd be like that. And then 72% turbulent. So
Turbulence. Love that. The
Yay.
GOT7 album.
In conclusion.
Just kidding.
Yes. Oh man. In conclusion, I am very airheaded and Chelsea is very level-headed.
In a slightly, sometimes like, overbearing, damaging sort of way. But that's like the slight, like, that's life. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
Since you have to go, should we just wrap up? The rare
Yes.
occurrence that we wrap up without a question segment.
No, okay, wait, what's the object directly in front of you?
My computer.
Alright, cool, thank you for that answer. For me, it's my ring light, which I can't, like, dismantle, and my new cactus Penelope. I recently got her a new little jar.
She looks
so
great. Love her.
Cute. Thank you. Oh, I didn't show you, I was showing the camera,
Cute.
but yes, this is Penelope.
Love her
Thank
for that.
you. Yeah, so that's what's directly in front of me. Okay, we had a question segment, good. Song of the week, I do have one. Can
Yes.
you tell
Go
it?
ahead.
Okay, our song of the week is Woman by Doja Cat from her new album, Planet Her. Oh my goodness, y'all. You know when you listen to a song and like you just get that smug little smirk on your face because you're like,
I have
So-
taste.
that's what happened. I was like, what?
I have taste. Like,
Yes, exactly. I was like, I put on, like, I went on Spotify. I started the whole like Planet Her list, the whole album chronologically, and Woman started playing and I was just like, yeah. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the song.
That's
Love
the
it.
song.
I'll try to listen to it. Because my brother keeps
Yes.
recommending the Tyler the Creator album, which came out.
Oh, that also came. Oh my goodness, there's so many things to catch up on.
Because I really liked his album 2 years ago, so I'm gonna try and listen to all
Yeah.
of these. And Yu-Gi-Oh keeps churning out music videos. Good for him.
Music for he had another music video come out
Yeah.
and it came on my homepage and I was like, more.
We'll have to watch them sometime later.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
But other than that, should I do the outro?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you everybody for watching or listening or whatever you're doing to be with us today, I guess. I don't know. Thank you. If you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Spotify and like all the other podcasting platforms that you use. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. We have a Twitter at Armbridge Podcast. Or no, at Armbridge Pod on Twitter, and then on Instagram it's at Armbridge Podcast. Wow, English. But yeah, be sure to, interact with all of that. Comment down below if you're still here. Even if you're a bot, I don't know, you could say something in the comments. Anything of the sort. Either way, anyways, thank you. Bye. See you next
Bye.
week.